Back to Our Town Fitness. I'm Miguel, your host for the time being. We're going to get back into the shoulder pain. We talked about how to assess in the first video. Now we're going to talk about how to get rid of the tension in your shoulder. Two things you're going to need: lacrosse ball, or anything spherical and dense. It doesn't have to be a lacrosse ball. If you have a baseball, that'll be fine. And a foam roller. Any foam roller will do. Does not have to be fancy. We're actually going to get into the foam roller first, and I'm going to tell you why. Going back to those of you who sit down a lot for work, have the tech jobs and so forth. The first video we talked about lat tension, that being tight, pec minor being tight. So one of the easiest ways to relieve that tension is the foam roller. And just a little side note, the reason we go straight to the foam roller and we don't stretch is the reason it's tight, there's knots. And so when you start stretching without releasing those knots, think about tying a rubber band in the knot and you stretch it. That knot's still there, and it actually gets tighter, right? Because now we're stretching around the knot. So we want to get rid of the knot. So we're going to lay close to the armpit. Is most likely you're going to find the tension, but it might not be there for you. Play around up and down the lat. Lat's a large muscle. It comes all the way down to your mid to lower back, and it comes all the way up and attaches right underneath your shoulder blade, or onto your shoulder. So we're going to be here, up and down, short motions, or back and forth. Whatever works for you to dig in there, okay? Next thing, lacrosse ball or dense spherical object. Let's go with the pec minor first. So you're going to lay face down here. We're going to stick this ball, so pec minor runs up and down here on the edge, right? So we're going to stick that ball right in there. Start with this elbow bent, and you're going to use your other hand to gently rotate. So now we're creating a stretch and we're digging the ball in there. And move around if you have to. Find where that, there you go, find where that knot is. Just found mine. And then we're just going to mobilize. We're going to make that muscle work over top of that ball. Yes, this sucks, but it's going to relieve that tension. Another way to do that, take the ball, and now I'm going to stick it right in my rotator cuff. Okay? Well, rotator cuffs can either be weak, or they can be tight, or they can be both. So this is a weird, uncomfortable place to put this ball. Yes, it does push the joint up a little bit, but that's okay because a lot of times you get a lot of scar tissue build up in there and you want to get rid of that. So we're going to start hip stack, shoulder stack, internal rotation, external rotation. Never force the range of motion. We don't want to tear anything. It should loosen up and increase by your 10th rep of doing this. And after the 10th one, we're going to stop here on the external rotation. And we're going to just flex the shoulder. We're going to reach overhead. We'll do 10 of these. And that's going to start helping to loosen up that rotator cuff. All right? Last one. Boom. Take the ball. We're going to stick it between our shoulder blade and our spine. You never want it on the spine. There are cases where we would put it on the shoulder blade, but for today, we're going to stick it between the shoulder blade and the spine. We're going to lay right in there. And that's going to feel awesome, as you can guess. And then I'm going to just randomly move my arm until I find the position that digs into that muscle the best. So right now, it's right here. And I would just hang out here for a little bit. I'm not going to give you guys time limits. You can hang out here for a minute, you can hang out for 30 seconds, whatever you want to do. If you just noticed, my hand was stuck here for a second. As that muscle released, my hand touched the mat. And you'll find that a lot of times when you're doing this particular mobility activity. Another area that you're going to find tension is usually when you come out here, and that goes back to the first video when we did that side sitting posture, and we're trying to slide the shoulder out, right? Trying to be here. Slide the shoulder out, try to get that shoulder blade in the right area. So there you have it. That's myofascial release and mobility to start getting that tension out of the shoulder. In the next video, we're going to talk about different exercises you can do to start strengthening and increasing range of motion for your shoulders. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching.